remain safe and well. Welcome to my film and TV channel, and it's a turn of a film review today. It's a little action crime drama from a guy called RZA or RZA. I'm all British, but RZA, I'm not too sure who he is. You might know him out there if you've sort of tuned in for this. I have no idea who this guy is, but it's directed. A heist film directed by RZA. Please, if you're new to this channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notification. Some of these vlogs are coming out. I try and inform and entertain as we go through these film reviews. They also do TV drama reviews, various other things, poster movie battles, various bits and pieces, information vlogs on what's out to buy, and fingers crossed what's going to be on at the cinema if they ever reopen. I mean, it just seems to be so long now since I've done a cinema one. It's quite unbelievable and sad, really, isn't it? Anyway, please join me for this, and please push that subscribe button, push the bell notification. Also, if you're into Manchester City, my football team, I do a little Citizen channel as well. If you're not interested in that, don't worry about it. It's loads of film and TV stuff. But if you know anyone who might be interested, in fact, please point them in my direction. I'll be very grateful. And there's a couple of links on screen for Facebook and Twitter as well. I do post lots of stuff on there. So I do check every 2-3 days. So if you want any followers or friends, just check me out and I will reciprocate. And please, any comments on this film or anything you want to talk about, movies and TV, very, very welcome. And if you can't leave a comment, if you can just give us a little thumbs up, that'd be fantastic, so I know you've watched it, and at least if I've tried to entertain and inform, and hopefully you enjoy it. Anyway, so let's get through this. Cutthroat City, this film's called. Cutthroat City, there you go, if you didn't know what it was. Just over 2 hours long, Cutthroat City. An action crime drama, a heist film, as I said, by RZA, from a screenplay by Paul Cuscieri. Stars Shemik Moore, T.I. Demetrius, Ship Jr., Kat Graham, Wesley Snipes, Terrence Howard, Isa Gonzalez and Ethan Hawke. And it's set after Hurricane Katrina. So we've gone back to, is it 2005, Hurricane Katrina? Four boyhood friends, out of options, reluctantly accept an offer to pull off a dangerous heist in the heart of New Orleans. I watched the trailer for this. I was quite impressed with the trailer. It sort of whet my appetite for the film itself. Yeah, I'd sort of give the trailer a good 7 out of 10. A nice solid trailer. It's very hard to make a bad trailer, even for a rubbishy film, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's one of the better ones. I'll give it 7 out of 10. What are the critics thinking about this? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, we've had 40 reviews left from the critics on there, and it's getting to 70% positivity with a weighted average of 6.1, so it just crawls over the watchable rating. If something gets a 6, I think it's watchable, so it does crawl just above that. And it's got 28 fresh and 12 rotten, so a fair sprinkling of negatives really, but not too bad. The website's critical consensus reads, an evolution for director RZA, Cutthroat City overcomes occasionally muddled storytelling on the strength of its raw, infectious energy. Metacritic, the other little critic site we have a look at, only 11 critics have left some scores on there, but it's averaging 67 out of 100, which isn't too bad, and it does score between 42 and 80 out of 100 with the various critics. The lowest one is from the playlist's Asher Liberto, who only gave it 42 out of 100 and said, not surprisingly, Cutthroat City is a product of RZA's voice, highlighting his social awareness and raw, deep, in-your-face delivery. What is surprising is how scattered the film is. Like a rapper without flow, Cutthroat City lacks a oomph to keep audiences engaged. And the New York Times' Glenn Kenny, well, he liked it a little bit. He gave it 80 out of 100. That's not too shabby, is it? He wrote, the reversals the characters suffer across the movie's running time are epic, and the movie's finale unfolds to genuinely startling effect. Well, not perhaps words I use for the finale, to be honest with you. And we get onto Internet Movie Database. We get onto you and me, Joe Public, just a normal guy on the street who's watched this, or the guy in the hood who's watched this. Please forgive me, I have no idea what I'm saying, but probably not cool anymore, or sweet, or whatever, is it? Yeah, Internet Movie Database, almost 1,400 scores and reviews as I'm recording this, 1399, and it's averaging, yeah, disappointing, 4.8 out of 10, so not fantastic and well below the 6 out of 10 threshold for, in my opinion, a watchable film, if you like, that I could recommend. Some of the comments that from Internet Movie Database, it would have gotten a 6, but the last 2 minutes made absolutely no sense to me. Not really to me either, to be honest with you. I am perplexed, said someone else. I'm dissatisfied with movie stories. It's a final impression that's a lasting impression. So I think that's a hint at the end of the film again, wasn't it? Someone else, what should have been Boys in the Hood turned into a messy puddle? There's a messy puddle. That's actually not a bad description, actually. Another worst action film, too slow and full of boring conversations, said someone else. The action scene also not intense at all. Another big letdown. Yeah, I know what he's meaning about that. I mean, if you've got guns firing and blazing and, you know, really dark scenes, but they just don't really grip you, unfortunately. Someone else, overall, it's a decently built action-packed ride, a solid showing from RZA, who's not perfect by any means, but the rate he's improving, he may have greater things in store for us, so they were a bit more complimentary. Someone else, on the budget that he had, this movie was great. There you go, so there are positives. Someone else, this movie reminded me a lot of those movies. Great cast, great acting. No, it wasn't perfect, but it didn't expect it to be. But it was a good movie. Ignore the hate. Yeah, but you can't really ignore the hate when there's so much of it. There's quite a lot of negativity out there. Right, my little thoughts on this. Sadly, I have to go with the majority of the public on this one, not particularly the critics. Somewhere in this over 2 hour long project was an okay hour and 20 minute, an hour and 30 minute film, crying to get out. Sadly, it did need a little bit adding to that. So obviously, say take an hour out and add back in, you know, 30 minutes or so. It needs bits added and a lot taken out of it to make it sort of more passable, in my opinion. As I said, there was no tension, no real horror or shock in the scenes where shootouts and robberies and people are dying. It just didn't have any real effects on me. Even the sort of the punishment things, the actual scenes where, you know, they were just nastiness. It just didn't appeal. You know, it didn't even make me cringe. It didn't make me feel any real emotion, to be honest with you. It was no real emotional connection with most of the film's characters, even though they were quite well played. All right, they weren't the nicest of guys, which is fair. You know, I'm not really into really bad guys, but you can have an affinity sometimes with certain guys, and certainly one of the main characters you were supposed to have an affinity with, but it never really grew throughout the film, unfortunately. As I said, the acting was fine. There was a couple of sort of big cameo, not tiny cameos, but obviously Snipes was a bit weird, to be honest with you. Ethan Hawke was another sort of weird performance. But you just got the feeling a little bit of tweaking here and there. It could have turned this into a more acceptable movie. Obviously, some people quoted Boys in the Hood, stuff like this. You know, it could have been that sort of thing. And the ending, I just don't know about the ending. Apparently, when asked about the ending, the creators of this and the people who put this together said you were really meant to interpret it. To be honest with you, it just left me a little bit confused and just cold to the whole thing. As I said, I wasn't overly impressed with most of it anyway. I just wanted certain things that it didn't really appeal to me. I don't want to interpret a film. I hate this. I hate having to interpret. Yeah, of course I can. I've got an imagination. I can interpret all I want, but I just want a writer to get off his arse, basically, and finish the story. I don't think viewers should be asked to interpret. I think a story, like a book, I mean, you know, if you read a 400-page book and you get to the end and you're supposed to leave things to the imagination, there's no sequel or no follow-on, then it just ruins the whole thing. And sadly, it was ruined throughout. As I say, it did lack certain things, even though there was potential for a good film. And I'm sorry, the ending just sort of put a top hat on it, basically. It just made it, sort of summed it all up, and how disappointing. I did want to like it, as I said, because there were elements in it that I did enjoy, but overall it wasn't quite good enough to live very long in the memory. I won't be, you know, sometimes these sort of films where I perhaps don't think things are a bit wishy-washy, I sort of try and watch again to see if I've missed things, but I've no inclination whatsoever to watch this ever again on my own or with someone else. If someone says, do you want to watch this with me, I said, well, I'll sit with you and do something else, but I'm not watching it again. Yeah, so my score, I'm going to give it that score where I'm not going to put you totally off watching it, because as I said, there were elements I liked. Some people do like it. It just didn't quite appeal to me. I just thought it could have been tweaked and made a lot better. So I'm going to give it my little sit on the fence score, where I'm not going to put you off if you fancy having a watch of it. I'm going to give it 5.5 out of 10, which is a little bit more than Internet Movie Database. As I say, it was... It had potential, but as someone said, the story was all just a bit of a puddle, really. It was just all a bit of a muddle and a puddle. It was just a bit all over the place. There's been a couple of posters I've been showing you there. It's just a nice gangster poster, isn't it, with characters in, if you like, and obviously if you like the actors, etc. So there's nothing wrong with the poster. I'll give the poster more. I'll give the poster a bog standard 6 out of 10. The promo posters. I've seen a couple of others as well that I've not put on screen, but yes, okay posters. As I say, as a memento for a film, if you like it, I think it's a fine poster. There's nothing wrong with it. And this film is actually out to buy from February the 8th here in the UK and online, so it will be in store in the UK. Please check your territory. And in the UK, it's quite cheap, only cheap as chips in the UK. So if you do like it and you want to buy it and keep it, it's only £6.99 on DVD here in the UK. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you watch this and you get to see it and you do like it. As I say, there are elements I did quite like, but it sort of didn't really grab me emotionally or make me want to sort of stick up for any of the characters or dislike most of the characters. I didn't particularly dislike the characters. I just didn't feel anything with the characters, unfortunately. But let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are we going to do with the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other till we meet here, perhaps on the film and TV channel, or perhaps have a flit over to my football channel, the Citizen channel, whatever it is. Anyway, all I ever ask of everyone out there is please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.